I got some dirty shit to pick up at the dry clean. I got a tidy bitch to pick up, I got less Celine.
We're just looking at some brake lines today. I ordered up a handbrake for the rear line, so that's all I'm waiting for now, so I can line that in. I'm pretty sure I'm going to leave the proportioning valve up here, because with the short course racing, once I have this tuned in, I don't think I'll be touching it too much, so it's probably going to get mounted right about here for simply like how simply it's going to install, compared to where if I were to do it mounted back here, I would have to run these stainless steel lines, braided cables. I'd have to put connectors on them and run hard lines all the way up to here so they reach. Run this line for the front master cylinder way longer, so this just makes it a lot simpler. I can put my stainless steel lines right into the assembly and just a short little line to my front master cylinder. And then same goes for the rear line here. That's the rear end, so I'll run a line around to there soon, and that'll be all hooked up. Clutch is hooked up and working, and then I also need the rear caliper, and the brake should be pretty good. So yeah, so speaking of that, I have a couple more parts to buy, and I calculated how much it's going to cost to build one of these, because it's a question I get asked very, very often. So I've been keeping paperwork on every cent I've spent on this thing, so I can go over and show you what I've spent all together. So this stack right here in the very back is welding supplies, so just gas and wire basically, and some tips. And there I spent $237. So most people aren't gonna really account for that, because I don't know, I do. It's just the way that I like to account for how much it costs to do something. I like to add that in there. And then next there in this stack is material. So that includes all the piping to make the chassis, and all of the plates and the cutting from High Precision Water Jets in Trenton, Ontario here. And that's why that price is so fluctuated. It's just because of the cutting involved in it as well. So that was $16.80, and then parts altogether I'm at $5,800. And to add to that number, I would add $3,000, because I still need to buy coils, CVs, and then miscellaneous, meaning stuff like that, rear caliper, and probably a couple other little fittings and doohickeys I'm still gonna need. So that all added up, without the welding supplies, actually with the welding supplies, you're looking at about $11,000 to build one of these buggies. That's to a good spec where it's gonna work properly, and you're not gonna have too many issues with jerry-rig type parts. You want to buy as many production parts that are proven as you can, like pedal assemblies and lots of other stuff throughout this that are proven designs already, right? So that's where a lot of the money comes in. You can make your own pedals and design your own rack and pinion even. Like, there's lots and lots of freedom here, but the chances of that stuff working first time around is low, so that's why I just don't really bother. So to build one of these buggies to my spec here, you're looking at $10,000 to $11,000, I'd say. Batteries for the drone on charge right now, so we'll get that out in a couple minutes. I usually put it away for the winter here, because we get a real nasty winter like you've seen in the previous video. So we'll get some nice drone shots in on this video as well, and hopefully in the future. It's great footage. I love the look of it. Got a bit of brake line work going on now. I had that line put in here right to the proportioning valve, but I had the wrong type of flare on the end. I had a double flare on there, and I need a bubble flare on there, so I'm changing it up so that way it has a bubble flare on there now, and then the other end has a double flare that goes on there. So I'll have that brake line right, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the rear line, run the rear line to the proportioning valve, and then like I said, run the line close to where my handbrake's going to go. And then I also got this little slinky bastard that goes on my brake lines that go near the engine. I'm pretty sure just help insulate the line from getting hot spots on it. So I'll get that put on there too.
Just to be with you.
I got majority of the lines all ran up in here now. We're still waiting for the reservoirs. I have 2 reservoir bottles. Oh fuck, it's windy. Sorry. Yeah, you see I got 2 Tilton bottles that go on there. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna mount those bottles as remote reservoirs or just mount them right on here. They still need caps. So that's why I haven't quite mounted them. I'm just not sure if it's going to clear this bar here. We'll have to see. But there's actually a pretty easy modification for that, and you just heat it up and bend it slightly so it forms around there and clears it. A little trick. So that's about all we're waiting for, and then the handbrake and the rear caliper so we can line up all the brakes and bleed them and have the brakes working. And also, actually, I forgot the rotors were cut a long time ago at the water jet place, and I still haven't made it there to pick them up. So I'll have to go and get those there probably this week. But yeah, that's probably it for today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook page. Just get involved as much as you can because it helps me keep doing this and making these videos. So have a good one. Take care.
See it through.